The machine worked. On the test bench, indicator lights stabilized. Calibration time dropped. Material waste decreased. Output variance narrowed across repeated trials. The report did not. Across the top of the page, in red ink. Not approved. The stamp was precise. Official. Final. And it ended the project. The device was not theoretical. It was operational. Installed on a standard Soviet industrial measuring unit, it reduced recalibration cycles by nearly half. Fewer components were required. Maintenance routines were simplified. Downtime between shifts decreased. Engineers recorded stable results over multiple tests. The improvement was measurable, repeatable, and compatible with existing factory infrastructure. In another system, this would have moved to pilot production. Here, it moved to paperwork. The document followed formal structure. Institute header. Technical description. Projected efficiency gain. Estimated impact on output quotas. The numbers were not dramatic, but they exceeded the plan. And inside a centrally planned economy, numbers were not observations. They were commitments. Every industrial target had already been calculated into a larger structure. Raw material allocations were fixed. Transport capacity was assigned. Labor hours were distributed. Production reports were standardized. A change in efficiency did not remain isolated. It entered the system. Approval was not immediate. A prototype passed through layers. Department review. Institute director endorsement. Sector ministry analysis. Planning committee alignment. Each stage required documentation. Projected gains had to be reconciled with existing 5-year plan targets. Reconciliation required recalculation of downstream allocations. Recalculation required revised reporting. Revised reporting triggered questions. Why had earlier output been lower? Had performance been misreported? Were quotas set incorrectly? Were resources inefficiently assigned? And sometimes the file did not move forward. It moved sideways. A desk. Another desk. A new signature line added in blue ink. A rubber stamp pressed down, lifted, pressed again. Pages accumulated. Folders thickened. On some days, a stack of proposals sat untouched under a paperweight bearing the state emblem. Each one documented. Each one measured. Each one waiting. No rejection was required. Delay alone preserved the numbers. The institute director understood the sequence. Approval would escalate the file to a ministry. The ministry would need to justify modifications to projected sector performance. Those modifications could require adjusting other factories' targets. One efficient machine might require revising dozens of performance tables. And the Soviet industrial system was not optimized for dynamic recalibration. It was optimized for predictability. The stamp preserved predictability. Innovation was not discouraged in principle. Research institutes were funded. Engineers were trained. Technical journals circulated across the Eastern Bloc. But incentives mattered. Factory directors were evaluated on quota fulfillment, not structural disruption. Ministry officials were evaluated on plan stability, not rapid optimization. Planning committees were evaluated on alignment with projections. An innovation that reinforced the plan was welcome. An innovation that altered it required movement across administrative levels. Movement meant risk. Risk did not guarantee punishment, but it guaranteed visibility. And visibility inside a bureaucratic hierarchy was rarely neutral. The red stamp eliminated visibility. The prototype remained documented, archived, and inactive. No public rejection. No accusation. No confrontation. Only administrative closure. The factory continued operating with the older system. Calibration remained slower. Material waste remained higher. Output remained within projection. Nothing collapsed. Nothing failed dramatically. But the difference accumulated. Across hundreds of factories. Across thousands of components. Across years of fixed planning cycles. In competitive systems, efficiency reshapes cost structures. Lower cost alters pricing. Pricing alters market share. Market share drives reinvestment. Adjustment becomes continuous. In a centrally planned system, adjustment required authorization. Authorization required consensus. Consensus required documentation. Documentation required stability. The prototype would not have transformed the entire economy, but multiplied across sectors. Similar decisions created widening gaps. Gaps in productivity. Gaps in modernization. Gaps in technological momentum. The cost did not appear in a single year's report. It appeared gradually. In systems that functioned, but did not advance. The machine worked. The tests confirmed it. The engineers documented it. The improvement was measurable. But the plan remained unchanged. Because inside a centrally planned system, control was more valuable than acceleration. The stamp required no recalculation. No redistribution. No revised forecast. Only ink. The machine worked. The stamp worked better. And in the long run, the paper decided the pace of progress.